Honestly unexpected. I mean, I just want to thank the opportunity to be here tonight. It's a tremendous honor. The video is a little overwhelming for me because I've been part of a great success story. I think I've been a very fundamental part of that success story, living it for the last 28 years. But nonetheless, I really want to thank the committee, and I want to thank everybody involved with making this possible. Starting off, of course, with the women in my life. They've already been recognized, but my wife Kate, who obviously has been a co-writer in many different publications and has supported me in the last 28 years of our journey, my daughters, and not least, of course, Catherine and Anya, and as you've already heard, Mary Lube, who tells me when it's time, when I'm allowed to go to the bathroom, when I'm supposed to be on a flight. To give you a sense, together, I should say, we flew 1 million miles last year, Mary. Delta is really happy with our collaboration and wants us to continue to keep them in business for many more years. And I won't even tell you what the last week was like, because it isn't even worth thinking about. It just seems like went backwards and forwards across the Atlantic about 5 times. My mother, unfortunately, passed away 4 or 5 weeks ago. And she, of course, would have liked to have been here. She did carry that pillow that said, "Behind every successful man is a very surprised mother." She was also devastated to see me move into agriculture and food. She thought I should have pursued a noble career in finance, banking, real estate, something with a future, not agriculture, for God's sake. What am I going to tell my friends at dinner parties? Anyway, there we go. We're trying to feed... we're feeding 7.5 billion people on the planet today. We're going to feed on 10 billion in the future. Agriculture turns out to be quite an interesting subject to talk about, Bill, sometimes even at those dinner parties. From that, I've also been part of the Alltech story. And I went to meet some friends of ours in Harvard and last week, and they said, "What is the story? What's the Aidan Connolly story?" And I said, well, I've been part of a startup. I joined the company with $27 million in sales that became an antelope. It's a $2.5 billion company today, involved in 140 countries. And of course, in no small measure, that was due to Pierce Lyons, who is also sadly not here tonight because he died at the beginning of the year. And that was a huge deal, not just for Alltech, but for everybody in agriculture. He was a pioneer. He did many, many wonderful things. He also did some crazy things. He was also a pretty tough boss. He was the man who decided, because of my UCD French, I should be sent to France to start Alltech in France and compete with the people who'd been previously representing us. So you had 5 senior French salespeople plus a support staff of 20 against Aidan Connolly. Interesting days, to say the least. I can only imagine what the first customers thought when I walked through the door. But that went on to become the Brazilian adventure. When I got married to Kate, we moved down to Brazil. Many, many stories, probably best encapsulated by the fact we discovered inflation was 30% during the first month we were there, 40% during the second month we were there, hit 50% in June. We'd arrived in March, and the people saying, "What, it's not that bad. We've seen 80% a month." You know, everything is in your context. I think that UCD prepared me for that. I'm a very big fan of my first professor, Frank Badley, who did not necessarily introduce us, Kate, but nonetheless, we were in his class together. And of course, a fantastic relationship with Damien McLaughlin, but also, frankly, with all of the staff I've encountered through not only what we've done in Alltech, not only what I've done, but also what we've done in Alltech, we've brought now nearly 400 executives to summer courses, what we call our mini MBA. It's been run over almost 20 years. And it has fundamentally changed the nature of the organization. And that relationship with Smurfit and UCD, I honestly, if I could take a round of applause for that, you've done a fantastic job. I'll just conclude with saying that this last week, so I did get to number 10, Downing Street. I was in Ireland. I'm going to China on Saturday. Obviously was in Cornell this morning speaking about digital technology. So normally I speak about things like drones and robots and blockchain and artificial intelligence and how food production is going to change fundamentally. But I found myself chairing a debate yesterday with 4 senior business leaders running food companies in front of a crowd in Ireland. There were 450 people in the audience, and I introduced my swear box. My swear box had written on it, "If you mention the word Brexit, I will take a €2 contribution from you." Unfortunately, I got no words from the audience. The word Brexit was completely eliminated from everybody's conversation. So I was glad to not also hear it here tonight either. It's been a fantastic experience. I owe a lot of what I've achieved to UCD, to Smurfit, to Ireland. It's really a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm honoured. Thank you very much.